Hello, today we are going to look at fractional scale factors. So previously we've looked at when a scale factor was a whole number, like 2, and we would double the length of all sides of a shape. Today we're going to look at some of the fractional type ones, where it's not quite as straightforward as having a whole number to multiply or divide by. So in this one, we are going to reduce the size of these two shapes by a scale factor of a half. So this is the same as dividing it by 2, but we're going to multiply by a half. We've done once a bit like this, but we're going to extend that in the next couple of examples. So we count the length of the sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks. And 1, 2, 3, 4 down the side. So scale factor of a half. So 6 times a half. Well, a half of 6 is 3. And 4 times a half. A half of 4 is 2. So our shape, our rectangle this time, is going to be 2 down, and it's going to be 3 along. So in that case, I have halved all of the lengths. So this side is 3, and this side is 2. Okay, we could do the same one with the blue triangle below. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 along the side, and 1, 2, 3 along the bottom. Okay, 5 times a half is 2.5, so I'll just write 2.5. 3 times a half is 1.5. Draw that with my lines. So our side is going to be 2.5 for the tall part, and then that is going to be 1.5 along, and then because it's a triangle and it's still similar, we can draw the diagonal. Okay, so that is now half the size, all the dimensions are half the size of the blue one. Okay, for the next one, we're going to increase the scale by a scale factor of 3 over 2, so that's 3 halves. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. We count the sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, still the same, and 4 for the other side. Okay, so this time we're going to multiply by 3 over 2. So 6 times 3 over 2. So think about this as 6 times 3 is 18 divided by 2. So that is 9. So that's the same as 6 times 1.5. Okay, 4 times 3 over 2 for the other length. 4 times 3 is 12, divided by 2 is 6. So our lengths are going to be 9 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have a length of 9 and a height of 6. Okay, we'll do the same with our triangle. So again, that is still 5 and 3. So 5 times 3 over 2. So 5 times 3 is 15, divided by 2 is 7.5. And then for the bottom length, 3 times 3 over 2 3 times 3 is 9, divided by 2, 4.5. Okay, so if we start our triangle here, I'm going to start at the bottom so I can start on a point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. And we're going to be going along by 4.5. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. And then we can join these two up. Because it's a right angle triangle, I can just draw in the hypotenuse without having to measure that. And that gives us a height of 7.5 and a base of 4.5. Okay, and that is a scale factor of 3 over 2. Because the scale factor is more than 1, that means the shape is going to get bigger. If the scale factor is less than 1, the shape is going to get smaller. Okay, so here's another one here. So this one is 3 over 5. So the scale factor is less than 1, which means our shape is going to get smaller. So our rectangle is still 6 along the top and 4 along the side. This time we have 6 times 3 over 5. So we do the same. 6 times 3 is 18 divided by 5. Doesn't simplify properly, so we're just going to write that as 18 over 5 just now. And then we have 4 times 3 over 5. 4 times 3 is 12. And again, 12 over 5 doesn't simplify quite as easily as we would like. Okay, so because you're going to have your calculator for these, you're going to be able to do that division. So 18 divided by 5 is 3.6. So it's going to be a little over halfway across our box. And then 12 divided by 5 is going to be 2.4. That's going to be a little under halfway across the box when we start drawing this. Okay, I'm going to draw it just underneath that because we're running out of space a little bit at the side. So, along the way, we're going to be going 3.6, so 1, 2, 3, and just a little over halfway. I'll say if you've got your jotter, you can use a ruler and you can measure this more accurately. And down we're going 1, 2.4, so a little under halfway. Okay, and then we have our rectangle reduced by a scale factor of 3 over 5. So it has got quite a bit smaller. And our lengths are now 3.6 and 2.4. Okay. If we do the same with our blue triangle, it is still 5 and 3. So we have 5 times 3 over 5. 5 times 3 is 15, divided by 5 is 3. 3 times 3 over 5 is 9 over 5. Which is 1.8. Okay, so we draw our triangle. One, 2, 3 down. And as it's 1.8, it's going to be a little less than the 2 right across. I'm going to go for about there. And then you join it up. And we have our measurements at the side are 3 and 1.8. Okay, so that is now reduced by a factor of 3 over 5. Okay, and the last example we're going to do, this one is increasing because 7 over 4 is larger than 1. Okay, so our lengths are still 6 and 4. So 6 times 7 over 4. So 6 times 7 is 42, divided by 4. Oops, that's wrong. That's me thinking about the next part. It's 10 and a half, so 10.5. Okay, and the next one is 4 times 7 over 4. 4 times 7 is 28, divided by 4 takes us back to our 7 again. Okay, so that's our two lengths, so 10.5 and 7. Okay, that is going to be quite a big rectangle this time. So we'll start here, and we have to go along by 10.5, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and a half. And we're going down by 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Down by 7 at this end as well. And along 10 and a half. So we then have a much larger rectangle, which is 10.5 long and 7 high. Okay, if we do the same with our blue triangle, we have 5 and 3, the same as before. 5 times 7 over 4. So 5 times 7 is 35 over 4, so that's not going to simplify down for us very well. And then we have 3 times 7 over 4 for the other length. It's 21 over 4. That one's a bit simpler to work out. Okay, so we have 8.75 and we have 5.25. Okay, so that's probably going to be too big to fit in remaining space, so my triangle is going to end up overlapping my rectangle here. That's okay. They're different colours, so it's clear to see which one's which. So starting here, we're going to go up by 8.75. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 3/4. And we're going along by 5 and 1/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 1/4. And then we can join our 2 points on a triangle. And we have a triangle which is 8.75 and 5.25. Okay, so hopefully you can see how to use a fractional scale factor. You simply need to multiply the length that you're starting with by the scale factor, and that will give you the resultant length on the other shape. Okay, and if you're using a calculator, that'll be quite easy. If you're having to use the fractions, just take your time and then simplify the fraction once you've multiplied it through. Okay.